Hey guys, Kamel here. I'm coming to you. We are live on Endphase, about to go over MCS number 28, which happened on March 7th. We have with us in the call some top performing players from the tournament. We have Mithyard, the not so Shiranui expert, -1, Jimmy, and Polaris with us for the MCS discussion roundtable. This is something that we do on our podcast Endphase after big events like the MCS happen. So we are going to discuss how decks performed, the new meta that we were exposed to last week, and what each person played individually. First thing we see on the tournament report, the full deck breakdown. Element Sabers are killing it. 22 decks. They almost have double of the next represented deck. Blue Eyes and Dark Magician coming in at second with 13 decks. Dark Lords with 11. Lightsworn's 10. And Shiranui's 9. Then there's a three-way tie. Blackwood's Crystons and Luna Lights at 8. And the rest of those decks are, yeah. You know, they're there.
There were a lot of Element Sabers because MCS came after a video with -1. He said Element Sabers has pretty bright future still. So like, exactly. Okay, if -1 said that, I'm gonna play Element Sabers in MCS.
They would call -1 an influencer nowadays, right?
Yeah, an influencer.
He's a Duel Links influencer.
Oh dear lord.
That's how we're going to introduce him from now on. Number 3 global and Duel Links influencer, -1.
Negative. Why do you think Element Sabers are still highly representative in deck breakdown for MCS?
I think Element Sabers just have a really strong starter in terms of Palace of the Elemental Lords. Just opening that one card sets up only the current turn, but multiple turns after. Because Malehu is both offense and defense, you're able to get a lot of value off of just opening Palace. So you're able to draw into Alistair eventually, because you can control the pace of the game. I think Element Sabers are just a really good deck, and a lot of people think it's like super brain dead, but then for some reason everyone who calls it brain dead still misplays with them, so I don't know.
That's the point. It's like, it's really in the finer details that the deck shines, and also just the fact that a lot of people are really trigger happy with, for example, their Alesters, their Floodgate Trap Holds, and so on. Really makes it, like, it really makes so that there's a difference in the good players and the better players.
All right, so the next deck I want to ask about is Blue Eyes. You know, Blue Eyes, we talked about it pretty extensively here. Our new box review, we pretty much said Blue Eyes was the best deck out of the new box, and I really want it to do well. I know people have very strong opinions on why Blue Eyes sucks, but looking at the tournament report here, we've got 4 Blue Eyes in the top 32. It was the second. Actually, I think it might be one of the best conversion rates we have for a deck. 4 to 13 still not great, but
how many Blue Eyes were in the breakdown before top
13?
13. Oh, that's pretty good conversion.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not great. So what if you guys faced Blue Eyes in the tournament, or if you've been playing against Blue Eyes, if you have any opinions on them, I want to know, because we've been arguing amongst ourselves here, the daily offices, about Blue Eyes. So
okay, I played like 3 or 4 Blue Eyes. I played Chris in the top 32, or top 16, like 2 times, round 1 and top 16. So what I can tell about Blue Eyes, it's either fun and bricky or boring and strong. So you can play like the Chris build with a lot of spells, draws 2 maidens and stuff, or you can just play control build with 3 Divine Red and 3 Regeki Breaks. So this is the build that I kind of unsure about, because I don't know about the Ancient Stone, not the Ancients, but the White Stone of Legend. I think you don't want to search for Blue Eyes. That seems like, irrelevant search. I really like the Regeki breaks, but like all Blue Eyes decks, he plays just Card of Constance for consistency. I can get it, but also I think he was the only Blue Eyes player that played Treacherous. So in the end, for Blue Eyes right now is just a really strong. I can't even call it strong. It's just a control deck that summons a big monster that opponent's probably not gonna out soon unless he commit to resource. And as soon as he commit to resource, you can just Regeki break or Treacherous that. That's
true. And given the fact that like attack and defense values are still relevant, unlike TCG Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just really, really, really hard to, in some cases, get rid of that one Blue Eyes. Whereas if they have a Dragon Spirit of White, that really easily gets out a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. It's like, yeah, okay, I attack. Okay, I can't do anything since you'll check out otherwise. So rip.
So
Yeah,
continue.
No, go ahead, dude.
Okay, so after I played a Filipino, he opened really bad game 2 or game 3, I don't remember. And I asked him, "Did you break?" He said, "No, that's just an average hand." I was like, "Oh, that was very bad."
It was an average hand. Oh god.
Yeah, so that's a problem. Like Blue Eyes has a lot of enablers, just not the right ones, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like Sage is a good sorcerer, it actually improves consistency, but summoning a 0 attack monster and passing, it's just not that great. Dragon Ravine is another card that can help Blue Eyes. If Dragon Ravine would be a card, then 30 card Blue Eyes can be an option. So you must play Ravine and a lot of other dragons to reborn. Like you can activate Ravine, send a Blue Eyes that is brick in your hand, and send stone from deck. You don't need to play any more Maiden. Like a lot of players don't even play Maiden. Maiden is not a great card.
Maiden is really not great given the fact that they will just Phoenix Chain it, they will banish it, they will chain block it. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This deck is something that I have not seen this version, and it intrigued me. So looking at it right now, this is 30 card Blue Eyes. Some differences from the other ones. He is running 3 Cards of Consonance, 3 Mausoleum, Wonder Wand, 3 Divine Wrath, 3 Raigeki Break, and 3 of both tuners. 3 of 3 tuners, as well as 1 of each of the Whitestone Legend and Master with Eyes of Blue. So, does anyone have anything to say about this deck?
I talked to Chris, and he told after we dueled, I asked him why you want to play 30 cards. He said, well, thing is, the Blue Eyes deck's problem, not consistency, is opening with a lot of Blue Eyes monsters that you cannot summon from deck. So he decided instead of playing more Blue Eyes monsters, he played the same Blue Eyes monsters, 3 Blue Eyes, 1 Spirit, the standard ratio, which is going to play more cards. Like if you open Maiden, Sage, and other cards, his hand is at least not that bad. But if you break with like 3 Blue Eyes, you're not going to do anything. So,
that's true.
Yeah. And he just minimized the consistency issues, increasing the power level too. Like 2 Silver Scry was actually really good to push for game.
Yeah, that is understandable, since it's also people just don't expect it right now. People will just be like, "Oh, okay, so
set card. He's not going to summon another Blue Eyes and attack me directly right now. I'm good for another turn."
If you have seen my duel against Chris in top 16, game 1, where he just pass, draw, and then in one single turn, he wiped out my entire board with Raigeki Break, Silver Scry, banishing effects of Spirit 2 or 3 times, I don't even remember, and OTK. Yeah, that was some hype moment for Blue Eyes deck.
Yeah, understandable. Just in my case, I didn't have to fear from Silver Scry as much because I would just say Hashi and Kek, but if given that you don't have any hard negates, it's a really, really surprising card.
That's there.
So also Wonder Wand is really good again. Like when I say really good, is just a combo. It's not that, like it's really good, but it combos well with Maiden. You activate Wonder Wand on Maiden, it targets. Then you trigger Maiden, special summon the Blue Eyes. So even if your opponent interrupts the target procedure, so yeah, they activate Wonder Wand and they chain any other card that doesn't target Maiden, you can still activate Wonder Wand effect that send Maiden, for example, to the graveyard and draw to steal 2 cards. So at least you are not losing any advantage here.
Yeah, it's a definite win scenario.
So top 8, Blue Eyes, he is running something a little different. So he's stuck with 20 cards, playing 2 Spear Karibos, in his build.
He's the only
standard,
one who plays Fury Build, by
Yeah,
the way.
the only
for
one who
whole
played
Blue Eyes.
it. And he's got his standard Blue Eyes Dragon lineup: 3 and 1, 3 Sage, 3 Whitestone, 2 Maiden, and he's running 3 and 3 Raigeki Break and Divine Wrath, both traps that require you to discard. So yeah, let's talk about this deck.
Okay, this deck looks boring. Like like when I look at this deck, I'm not interested in playing Blue Eyes. But this deck is good.
Yeah.
This deck is good.
Yeah, so this is kind of a more oppressive build, right? Just shutting them down, making sure that you don't have anything to contest their Blue Eyes from doing Blue Eyes things.
So Blue Eyes, this week my team tested Blue Eyes a lot, and we were pretty happy with it. Like, Willipino brought Blue Eyes, Chris brought Blue Eyes, Jason brought Blue Eyes. This
Yeah,
week
just
I've been playing a lot of Blue Eyes and like testing the deck. So something I noticed is that I think Cards of Consonance, I think it's a mistake not to run it because it's a +1. So for those that don't get it, Cards of Consonance, you can discard typically Whitestone of the Ancients, and then you draw 2 cards. And with that, you're not only thinning out the deck, but you're also summoning your Blue Eyes. So by putting Stone into Grave, you get the 2 cards that it's like, so it's initially even, and then in Endphase, you get a +1 from the deck. The reason why I didn't play Blue Eyes, after testing the entire week with Blue Eyes, on Twitter, like the day of, I checked Twitter, and then Sun posted a tier list, and he puts Element Sabers like tier 0, and then I was like, you know what? You're right, Sun. Sabers are just so much better than everything else, and Blue Eyes is for weenies.